everybody, and welcome back to the Concrete Pond. I'm your host, Chip Dynamo.
And I'm Jean-Claude Lafleur, Cup Champion.
Well, welcome back, JC. And boy, what a week we had last weekend out there at the Commodore Cave.
We had a fantastic day of hockey at the cave, and believe me, the crowd that showed was there to play.
And we had 10 players in total and one goalie, and so that shortened things up a little bit. So we changed things up. We didn't go full court at all. We actually played like a half-court game of basketball where you had to take that puck back every change of possession. Worked out pretty slick.
It was a modified game. We had Von Bauer between the pipes because he is a goalie by trade, and we had a quarterback defense kind of position play.
Right, and that's where the fourth person stayed. So 4-on-4 with the fourth person behind the line, and we did use the Dickel ball, and the Dickel ball impressed.
Very good game of the yellow Dickel ball.
I noticed that the goalies actually, in this case, Von Bauer, he actually preferred to play with that Dickel ball.
He really did like that. So we had some new Dickel ball come. They needed to be stuffed with a special stuffing we didn't have, but Von Bauer had a little bit of his little bottom wipes that he brings kids around with him in case he goes to poop it. And we stuffed him with that, and it worked really good.
And boy, they smelled wonderful.
It was a powder fresh smell every time he took a slap shot.
It certainly was. And so we look forward to more games out there with the Dickel ball, and I think it's a big hit. So thanks again to Dickie Rogers out there, and thanks for introducing the Dickel ball.
And thank you, Von Bauer, for the powder fresh smell.
Now, breaking news this week, as you know, it was Quarantine 2.0 coming your way, and that was in effect this very week.
Yes, it was. And I'm telling you, it's because the outbreak of this pandemic has been insane.
And we're all concerned. Let's face it. Nobody wants to get this wrong. So we performed some due diligence here at the Concrete Pond. We released our legal team to look into the analysis. They've done a comparative analysis between Oregon and Washington. We found a few things that we found pretty peculiar in particular.
Yes, we did. We did find out that it is okay in certain gatherings to get together.
And in doing so, we felt we best aligned with religious services. And what JC's alluding to, and I know that you think it's a stretch, but let me just tell you, folks, for the viewers at home, there are often times that you'll hear the Lord's name out there at the Concrete Pond.
Yes, we remember our Seth Wellen days back in July at the tennis courts when a woman asked, "Can you say one sentence without the word Jesus or God?" And so we tried, yes.
And apologies did result, and we did recover, and we learned a lot that day about being good neighbors. Now, here's what I want to bring your attention to. So as we pull up the slide here, if you'll do that for us, you'll notice that there's a difference of variation here. Now, pay particular attention to Oregon because that's where we're going to focus. We did think about moving the pond north, but we realized that was foolish. So look at the slide here in Oregon in particular. You'll notice that you're limited to 25 people is a max on the indoors and 50 outdoors for religious services.
Exactly. And since we always like to keep our numbers of invitation to around 200.
What's 50 of 200?
25%, and that's what we're shooting for.
And so we're shooting for that, and that's our mark. So we know we're not going to exceed our mark. We always achieve the lowest goal we set.
Exactly. And we are very much looking forward to it.
And that's why we're so successful. So with that in mind, keep this in mind. It got us thinking a little bit further than that. So if in fact we are considered to be, under the guidelines of religious gatherings.
A congregation.
A congregation, exactly, JC. And by congregation, in terms of definitions, there's no easier way than look it up. And when you look that up, folks, and you can Google it yourself, but you look it up, and Merriam-Webster herself tells us that a congregation is this.
A gathering of people, objects, or animals. And I can tell you, I've seen this group from the beginning. We could be called any one of those three.
And yet, all three fit the group, exactly, and it's still a congregation. So by definition, sure, a group of people assemble for religious worship, or, and it's important to note, please don't stick to one, simply one definition when there's two. It is a gathering or collection of people, animals, or things. Now, we're a congregation, right?
Right.
We fit the bill. 50 or under, we're outdoors. So what else could we do? Well, folks, that's our commitment to you. What we did was this. In an effort to remove that gray area, in a sense, provide the bright line to you, the viewer, and the fans, and the players, we wanted to bring a bright line to this whole issue in the equation. What we ended up with was we ended up taking steps to ensure that within the restrictions of the congregation, we can continue to move forward as a group. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the viewers at home, after dedicating minutes of his life to this cause. It's my pleasure to introduce, on behalf of the United Life Church of Modesto, California, the one and only Reverend Jean-Claude Lafleur, Cup Champion.
Bless you, Chip. Thank you. And bless to all of you. Thank you very much. Yes. So, Chip and I were talking, and we like to follow all the rules that we can to make sure we have safe play hockey for everybody. And I decided to go to the monastery. Now, was that going to be easy? No.
That's a huge commitment, JC, and you made it on behalf of the entire group out here.
For the community, Chip, I did this commitment. And the time, the investment of time.
And let's talk about the time, because this was no easy endeavor. This is no easy task. This took a great deal of time and dedication, and it was a big ask on the part of the network, I'm telling you. But it's the one thing that had to be done, and you were the one to do it. And let's tell the viewers at home a little bit about what that took.
I got a call from my good friend Chip Dino, right here. God bless him. And he said, JC, we need, and JC not in Jesus Christ, but in Jean-Claude, we need to have this done. And I said, I will do it. So I did the research. I got online 10 a.m. Tuesday morning, the 17th.
And JC, what time was it that you finally had your certification and you were legitimately an ordained minister and recognized as the Reverend Jean-Claude Lafleur through the United Life Church in Modesto, California?
After all I had to do, at 10:03, I was ordained.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. And you put that much time and effort in for this group. And that's how much
Yes.
you care.
I do. I care that much. Because I am a Reverend Cup Champion.
Well, JC, and just for the viewers at home, if you're interested in having Jean-Claude Lafleur perform a ceremony, I'm sure it won't be long until he's up to speed on all of these tasks and responsibilities. But for now, he's going to be calling the congregation order at 9 a.m. out of 89th and Claiborne at the Concrete Pond.
Yes, I will. And it's going to be a congregation of at least 200.
Or
50.
25%.
Thank you very much.
Well, folks, well, that's all we have time for on the Concrete Pond. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Chip Dynamo.
And I am the Reverend Jean-Claude Lafleur, Cup Champion.
And remember,
If you don't got a stick, we got a stick for you.
yes, we do. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a great evening. See you this weekend. Good night, everybody.
God bless.
God bless. I pray for you. I really do.